Yeah, what's going on? Welcome to the Brand Hover Show. What's going on, folks? Glad to have everybody back in the seat again. We gonna get it in today. We talking World Cup. We talking soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. 5 questions for the United States men's national team, and maybe more. Hover, what's going on with
Oh man, it's all good, man. Still trying to recuperate after Columbia loss,
you?
but
Oh man.
but I'm gonna do. I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all
Oh, that
right.
was bad. That was bad, man. That was golly. Switzerland, really? But
Yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah,
could have gone either way.
he could have gone either way.
Could have gone either way, man. But damn, you don't want to
Yeah,
lose like that. But
yeah,
yeah, you get your choice. You either lose 4-1, or you lose like that.
yeah. Lose by penalty kicks. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah. Them penalty
Uh,
kicks.
I'd rather lose 4-1 because you know what you got. Ain't no
Yeah,
question. Ain't
yeah,
no question who and what you are. But that when you lose to those penalty kicks, man, it's just kind of like, man, what could have been? We that should be us. But
yeah,
but
yeah.
when I look at Belgium versus Spain, I'm like, we gonna get into it later. you know, I never envisioned the U.S. playing Spain, but we gonna talk about it later on. How was the weekend, man?
Other than that, man, weekend was good, man. Weekend was good. Um, just had a chance to just take in all the football action,
Yes,
and
sir. Yes, sir.
trying to keep cool. It was hot as hell.
Who you telling?
But other than that, that's about it, man. How was your weekend?
Cool, man. Just like you, man. Just trying to excuse me, take in all the action. I know it was Fourth of July weekend.
Mm,
Um, so it's a little different. Fourth of July. So just try to put a couple of little dogs on the grill. That's about it, man, in terms of the celebration or lack thereof. But it's always been a tradition to at least put some on the grill.
gotcha,
So
gotcha.
yeah. I'm not there. You know, that's about it. No firecrackers. I still got 10 fingers. So no firecrackers, man. We'll talk about that too, man. But hey, welcome everybody to the show. Bredenhover Show. We're gonna talk a little Atlanta Dream. We're gonna talk a little bit of tennis, just a little bit, and we're gonna talk a lot of World Cup. We don't talk a lot of football on the show, but we've had enough football to talk about for the rest of the year. Because when it's over, it's over. We're gonna talk about American football, which is right around the corner. That's what we do. But we talk a little soccer too. So we definitely gonna get into it because there've been a lot of discussions about a lot of things with not just soccer overall, but our soccer team, U.S. national men's team in particular. We want to deep dive in that tonight, man. And so you really don't have to really be a soccer aficionado to participate in this discussion. This is for everybody's been talking about it all over social media. So um, if you're a soccer snob and listening to the show, feel free to chime in. And you can chime in on the show, or you can chime in on YouTube channel, Bread and Hover YouTube channel, or you can tune in on Facebook group, Bread and Hover Facebook group. Be glad to have you. So, Bread and Hover Show, if this is your first time listening to the show, we are based in Atlanta, Georgia. We talk about sports primarily in the state of Georgia, but wherever you are from, feel free, be part of the show and speak on it from wherever you are from. Hover, what you got?
Yeah, just want to give some quick shout outs to the Dirty Bird Nation,
You?
NFC South fans, Falcons First and 10, the Enhanced Sports Show, and Mo Brown Sticking Sensation, and the Atlanta Old School Drummers.
Yes, sir. And Louis be joining us a little bit later, sooner than later tonight. And the Enhanced Sports Show. So look. Going back to we talked about the weekend, Hovind. We talk about it every year, man. Around these, I call them firecracker holidays, man. Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day,
Yeah.
New Year's Eve.
Hmm.
Uh, and look, man, I can do without them. Some people just like to hear the pop pop. I don't know. So it is not that it's legal in the state of Georgia. Uh, it's just kind of unavoidable, not right now. And so you would think that people would wait, until it got dark, but they don't wait. At least in this neighborhood, they don't wait. And the bad thing about it is I have Stone Mountain Park in my backyard, so they already have a light show. They got so they doing up the works, and so I'm already going to hear that when it gets dark. I really don't need the peanut gallery in addition to that, with the pew pews going off, and so everything's going off at the same time as though we need it. And it look, man, look, I get it, and I hate it for people that got pets, people that got fur babies. Is firecracker holidays are the worst days of the year for us because you're trying to keep your fur babies and your pets cool and calm, and they don't like it. They don't like thunderstorms. They don't like firecracker holidays. And
Right.
so we have to go through extra precautions and extra rituals just to make sure that they are okay. We got to let them out a little bit earlier than usual, and before they get to popping. And some folk can't wait, and so you got to do that. And when they're in, they in. Sometimes you got to give some of them medications to keep them cool and calm or whatever. And you got to go through all of that. And so once we do that, we cool. We tucked in for the next couple of hours. We hunkered down. But then it's 12 o'clock. I'm still hearing pow pow. 1 o'clock. I'm still hearing pow pow. And I think that they just, you might hear two or three of them around 1:30, 2 in the morning. Uh, I think it sucks to be pew pewing that early in the morning. so, so people trying to sleep, got things to do, and just won't want to hear. You've been hearing firecrackers for like 3-4 hours straight. All right, enough. And so what and I don't, and unless you're the people involved with the pow pows, a lot of folks are like, look, man, I can do without. Just be done by 12. All right, be done by 12. I'm gonna give you that. It's the weekend. Be done by 12, so we all going with our lives. I mean, but they keep going and going and going. Hope they keep going and going and going in your neighborhood, or what's going on over there, man, during the firecracker holidays, man.
Yeah, it's the same. I mean, you're gonna have, you're gonna have some people popular for a while, and then some of them just gonna go past 12. Um, yeah, I know there's some kind of, what is it, city ordinance or something that you gotta stop at a certain time.
Yeah,
That's all you
yeah,
pretty much can do as far as, unfortunately we have to patrol it.
yep.
And that means you got to call Popo. That's the only way to get around that. But I get it, man. I think when we get these holidays with the fireworks and all that, it used to be a time when you had to cross the border. You remember that, Brent? You
hmm
couldn't even buy fireworks.
Had to go to South Carolina, or
Yeah,
Alabama somewhere and get them. Yep.
yeah, but now you can get them here freely, anytime, whenever you want them.
Yeah.
And so I knew once that was gonna when fireworks were gonna be accessible, that available to everybody, I
hmm
knew it was gonna be off the chain. So
A mess.
that's one of the reasons why they had to say, well, if you really want them, you need to go and you gotta drive out and go get them.
Gotta go
So
get them.
yeah, man. So to be quite honest, I kind of like that when I think about it now, I was like, yeah, I kind of like that law. But then
Yeah.
again, but at the end of the day, I understand the bang for the buck part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like the pros and cons.
pros and cons, man. So I'm just, I'm just
Yeah,
done with it, man. I'm just done.
yeah. Not too
You know.
long, and we're gonna be, Georgia. They've been trying to put it aside, but I know this is a whole nother side topic. But we're gonna eventually have it where you don't have to go across the border for gambling.
Oh yeah, it's just a matter of time. Yeah, it's just a matter.
They
They
just
just
trying
trying to
they just
figure out the
trying to
money.
work it out. Yeah, they just trying to figure out the
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
Who's gonna get what.
Right, right. And look, and I know some people, the Bible Belt, people holding on to the Bible Belt. It's not a moral issue anymore. They
No,
held on
no.
to that for so long, but it's past that point. Let's not fool nobody. So it's just no longer a moral thing about gambling. They're just trying to figure out the money, and that's just a matter of time before they do that. So,
Well, just like with alcohol, it used to be where they wanted to try to,
hmm
keep it away. But hey, you see what you see. Hey, you can
yeah,
get it now on a Sunday. So
on a Sunday,
yeah,
right? Alcohol sales on Sunday, and so it's like, well, we just going local then. And then everybody local, like, okay, we can buy it. And so, out of 159 counties, out of 159 counties in the state of Georgia, uh, I don't know, it may be 155 that are now. It took time that are now legal, not all of them, where you can
yeah,
buy alcohol on Sundays. Maybe about 155 of them.
yeah.
And
But
so
yeah, but at any rate, yeah, that gambling coming though. I can tell you that.
it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Just a matter of time. Look, man, congratulations to the Atlanta Dream, man, All Stars. Ryan Howard, she's averaging about 20 points a game. Leisha Gray averaging about 20 points a game. And Angel Reese, who's breaking all kinds of records in terms of rebounds, man. So they got in as terms of reserves between coaches and players voting them in. It's interesting with all-star voting because the first layer of voting with the starters are just fans. But thank God for coaches uh, and players. You got to have adults in the room because fans just gonna vote regardless of stats. They make people just like who they like and they know who they know in the league. So everybody knows Asia Wilson. There ain't no thing about that. And then some other players, and there's the Caitlin Clark thing. And people vote her. If you don't know anybody, you know her. Whether she, regardless of what her numbers say, she's gonna get in there. And there's some other players that are in there. And so it's just kind of like, it kind of is what it is. It's about fan voting, fan participation. But there are other players that are deserving that fans may not be aware of as much, that deserve to be there. And, in reserves shouldn't sound like a slight to people. I
Hmm.
know you go online and people say, oh, you just a reserve. Look, when you go down as an all-star, it won't say reserve. It won't say reserve. It won't say starter. It's just gonna say all star player that you made it, and you were worthy of that recognition. So congratulations to our players. They've been sucking for the past 5 games, 5, 6 games, man. They kind of like the Braves, man. They need a rest. I think they need a mental break. They started out the gate pretty strong, but I think they need a break, man. And All Star break is right around the corner. So like the Braves, they gonna need some help. But I look, man. I congratulations to our players. Congratulations to Angel Reese again. I think she's been great for the Dream. Once they get this mental break, I think they're gonna be back to their winning ways again, man. So congratulations to the Dream.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. No doubt, no doubt. Um, yeah, definitely congratulations to them. And I think the Atlanta Dream. They're definitely heading in the right direction.
Right.
They got a good chemistry of players together there. So yeah,
Yeah.
congratulations to them.
Yeah. Right. And I think that if and I just said about anybody, you can be a fan of who you're a fan of without putting down other players.
Yeah,
And so if you're a fan of LeBron, fine. But you don't have to, just because you're a fan of LeBron, you don't have to put down Steph Curry or you have to put down Jalen Brown. You have to put down other players. So be a fan of who you're a fan of. If you're a fan of Caitlin Clark, you don't have to put down Angel Reese. You don't, you like Caitlin Clark, you like her. She's a good player. Leave it at that. You don't have to,
Hmm.
me bounds and all that kind of stuff. I mean, hell, you talking about rebounds, that's not a bad thing. And so look at Dennis Rodman, one of the best rebounders of all time that got rings to prove it.
Yeah.
And Michael Jordan handpicked him. Said, "No, we need that on our team." So I don't know, man. I just think that online fans sometimes go a little bit overboard with stuff nowadays, man. People get keyboard courage and just say whatever, man. So congratulations, Caitlin Clark, man. She's a good player. She's good for the league. Congratulations, Angel Reese. She's good for the league. Asia Wilson's pretty much my favorite player in the league. He's one of my favorite players in the league, Asia Wilson. I like Alicia Gray a lot. She's good. She's solid. So look, man. I mean, I think WNBA is good, man. I wish them a lot of luck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, man. Another congratulations is in order, man. I don't know what happened. I know that Coco Golf, man, has been doing good in Wimbledon. So she advanced to reach her first Wimbledon semifinal, and she was the youngest player at 22 to achieve that accolade in all Grand Slams since Maria Sharapova. So
Yeah.
breaking records, man. So Coco Golf is getting it in, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Congratulations. Congratulations to her.
Yeah, big time, man. So look, man, World Cup, hope we need to talk about it, man.
Yeah. Do we want to bring Lou in on this segment?
Let's bring Lou in because we got a lot to talk about, man, and it's just a lot going on.
You called,
Lou,
gentlemen?
Hey, Lou.
hey, how you doing, brother?
Well, other than the World Cup mishap, I'm okay. But I'll tell you right now, even if we would have won on Monday night, there was no way that we were going to be able to advance past that. We were going against the big guys, and our luck might have run anyway. So, as disappointing as it was, surprise, not really.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. I'm glad you brought that up, Lou. You're right on time, man. So let's
Yes.
use up on the rock. The U.S. lost to Belgium 4-1. Some tidbits is that it was one of the most watched soccer games in United States history.
It was.
so, so it was up there,
I think,
man. Yeah, right. So before the game, there was a lot of controversy in terms of, uh,
of
you
course.
know, yeah, you know,
Why on earth would you wait 3 days to reverse the call, though? You're supposed to get it right, during the game. Not wait, well, let's see. We got to delay
yeah,
this a little bit. Right.
yeah,
Yeah, come on. That is bull. That is bull.
yeah. Back
You
in
knew
the
that wasn't a
man
foul.
was
Come on.
well. The thing about it is all of that stuff is that's I don't know. I thought that it did not deserve a red card at all.
No, it didn't.
Number one, it
Not at
didn't
all.
deserve a red card. So I thought it was a bad call. I think FIFA kind of mishandled the whole thing. They didn't say anything, which is kind of
Uh-huh.
incriminating if you don't say anything. And then all of a sudden, you
Uh-huh.
come up and say, "Oh, he's back." Then there's a phone call from the president. It's all of that. Now look, I ain't mad at all. I mean, that's what he wanted to do.
Well, I don't
Fine.
think they needed to make it, it's called the White House. I mean, this is not a political,
No, no. I
debate
mean, but
here. They should have
right,
done that. I mean, that was wrong to do too. But, you're paid to make the right calls and to get the decision over with, but you had to drag it through the mud and wait 3 days and had to rely on the president to make the call. I mean, come on,
right,
you were
and
so
then
professionals here, and you
right,
didn't handle it that well. You didn't.
right, exactly, and you didn't. You could have said right after the fire, we're looking into it.
Yeah,
We're looking into it, and we'll make a decision in a couple of days. That's different,
a couple of days.
or whatever. But you didn't say anything, and by not saying anything, and then the president calls. I mean, all that stuff just looks shady. It just looks bad. And people's been in hot water before this, but it just makes them look worse than it already
You
did. Look,
didn't have to wait that long.
They didn't have to wait that long at all. And so, and it was a horrible call. It was a horrible call. It was obviously a horrible call. And a lot of other players have not been called. Not even, it wasn't even a call with other players. I think
Yeah.
Messi had something. We ain't even call it a foul. They just kept it moving. And so it's like, look,
And
the
people call me stupid.
inconsistencies. The
Yeah,
inconsistency was crazy. What you
yeah,
got on that, Hover?
yeah. I agree with both of you guys. I mean, I definitely think it shouldn't have gotten to the point to where you got Trump in the middle of this. Um,
Yeah.
that really just
Not
that
necessary.
that wasn't necessary. And then, of course, Trump being I don't mean this, I mean Trump being Trump. He has a press conference, and then all of a sudden he talking about it, and
Yeah.
if it wasn't for him to make the call and all, so he's taking all the credit. And at any rate, uh, he's eating all that up. But
Yeah.
I agree with both of you guys. I just think it shouldn't have gotten to that point. I think when it occurred, I think it should have been reevaluated right after the game, and
Yeah.
then a decision should have been made. Say, hey, we
Right.
reviewed it after the game. We after thorough reviewing of it, we decided it's not a red card. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
nobody wouldn't say it would have
Yeah.
been just okay, water under the
Yeah.
bridge. But it
Yeah.
dragged on, and then you got the Belgium side, the coach, which he has every right to be pissed. So,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
hey, they you know what? At the end of the day, they won, and I guess that settled the score.
Yeah, they did. You're right, and they didn't. Yeah, and they didn't. As it stands, I mean, Belgium beat us before early in the year 5-2, and it's not like they needed more motivation. And it's like they're the little country, and we're the big bad USA,
Well, I
and
think that
FIFA's been into that, and so now now you got that in the water, like they needed motivation.
well that gave them a lot of motivation. I'm pretty sure of that.
Oh, I'm quite sure they were aware of it, and it was like the world against the US. I get it. And so we lose the game. I mean, it gets away from the US really early on in the game. And it just got worse. I mean, you finally score something off of a point off of a penalty, and then Belgium going right back in within a minute and scores another goal. And then once they took their starters out, man, it got worse. It's, it's like you could clearly see. I mean, even if you don't watch soccer, every week in Premier League and La Liga and all of that stuff, you could tell the difference between Belgium and the USA. The difference was clear. You could tell how they were very disciplined and how they ran their defensive set. You could see them shifting and moving back, going, and how the line kind of stayed its course. And you could look at the spacing between the players and the back line. Man, they were just very disciplined. And so when you're that disciplined, you need help in terms of running plays to score. You just can't, Balogun just can't just take a man off the dribble and think he can. No, they got somebody there, and he needs help. He needs assist. He needs quickness on
He's
the
wanting
wing.
help.
Yeah, well, we gonna get to that because they need a whole lot. So look, man, and I think Lou said it earlier. And I thought it was a lot of propaganda to it. I get it between the U.S.
Yeah.
Just look, the World Cup's on our home soil, and our home team is here, and a lot of people are like, yeah, maybe we do got a shot, because the U.S. looked pretty good up to that point until they looked good until they didn't, and so
Mm,
the early
well,
exit. I mean, was this? Did you consider this an early exit for the U.S. or we didn't expect for them to get past
no,
Belgium anyway?
I wouldn't say it's an early exit. A lot of people are saying that, which I think is a little bit far fetched. You know,
Hmm.
I mean, a lot of people are probably thinking, "Oh, we're going to win this year. We got home advantage, everything. We're unstoppable. We look great." Look, I wasn't thinking that at all. I mean, a home
Right.
advantage, first of all, does not exist. Okay,
Hmm.
even if you were the home team, it does not exist, and you're going to get some heavy hitters here.
Yeah.
So, despite all the hype and everything, really, it was going to be a big long shot for us to get to that next level. It was a
Yeah.
95% chance. It was, I did say 99, but I think 95% chance it wasn't going to happen
Right. 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 Right.
when you
Right.
really think about
Yeah, I'm with you right there, Lou. It's kind of like
it.
optimism. Yeah, it'd be
I
great.
think most of the American soccer fans were just getting a little bit too, well, I hate to say the word, but they feel a bit too cocky about it.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're right, Lou.
Yeah,
nail on the head. Yeah, you're right. I mean, everybody's happy. Everybody's feeling good. The drinks are flowing. It's like, hey, we can probably get this thing done, and the propaganda machine starts to roll, and then you roll with it.
right.
But look. I mean, the whole deal is like they look. It's just a lot of things. And let's go back to it, man. And Lou. So in terms of the reasonings behind why we lost that game to Belgium, I mean, we saw what happened, but let's deep dive a little bit in terms of the things that we saw what happened. We saw with Freeze, the goalie, the big mishap that he had was just so uncharacteristic of anybody playing on that level. You just don't see that kind of mistake every day. Coming too far up, out of position, and then he tries to clear it, and he looks like the New York Giants kicker Young Wei Koo. Foot gets stuck in the turf, and he can't even get his foot out in time, and then they score. And so there are a lot of things that happened that was bad, but how do you pinpoint why did they lose? Was it just inevitable? Was it because we were too slow? Was it because we just don't have the athletes? Was it because we just were not disciplined? What say you, Lou, in
All the
terms
above.
of? Hmm.
All the
Yeah,
above, pretty much. I mean, we weren't disciplined. I mean, and let's face it, compared to the rest of the world, we're not, a soccer powerhouse right
yeah,
there. So eventually it was going to get us in anyway.
yeah.
You know, we weren't disciplined. We were undermanaged, maybe a few bad calls here and there, but
Hmm. Yeah,
basically it was going to do us in anyway. So it was
yeah,
a combination of
yeah.
mishaps.
I think it's just a lot. It's just a lot of things. Although, and I will say this, Lou. I think that, and I watched every game that we had in the
So have
tournament.
I.
Yeah, we watched every single game. I watched other teams play, and all the way back to the group stage. And I remember the team that played 4 years ago, and I remember the team in the early '90s that played. I've been watching this stuff for quite some time. So the team I saw was one of the better teams that I've seen, barring the last game that we saw. Overall, team wise, coaching wise, I thought that they were incrementally better than what I've seen in quite some time. I think that the team speed in terms of the wing was there. A lot of people up front, the midfielders, forwards had a little bit more speed than we normally do not have. And I just thought that back line needed a little bit help. But I thought that everybody up front was incrementally better. Now I'm not saying that they were elite. We're not there yet, but I'm just
No.
saying based on Team USA, the talent that we had, Tillman, Bagadan, all the other guys, Richards, all the other guys we had up there, um, you know, were incrementally better than what we usually have up front in terms of team speed and physicality. So and so for me, I thought that Team USA did what they were supposed to do. They were supposed to exit out, not like this, but they were supposed to exit out. And barring the best they probably could have
So
done
what
if we did not make those mistakes that hurt us early in the game and the other things they did with the goal and those mishaps. I still think we're down 2-1. So, 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 so I think we're still kind of outmatched. And anyway, I don't think this team goes to penalty kicks with Belgium. They're just too good. The only difference now they're
Yeah.
not Spain, but they're not elite, but they are very good.
Far from
They
it.
are very
Far from
solid.
elite.
Right? They're not elite,
You
but
know,
this is
I mean,
Belgium is
and they were saying, "Oh, American soccer is on its way." No, not
no,
really.
no, not really.
Yeah,
Not
I think, and I agree with both of you. I think also too, we didn't get when USA played Paraguay, we didn't get the same Christian Pulisic.
Was it?
yep,
No.
Yeah, we
yep.
didn't have that. We didn't get the same play from him. It was kind of like, I know he ended up being hurt. I don't know. Maybe he just wasn't 100%. I don't know, but he was pretty much non-existent. I mean, he wasn't even he wasn't an X factor by any means. Usually what you get from him is good play from like assists, creating shots. And
Mm.
you just didn't get that from him. I
Eh,
think he was definitely a big disappointment.
Well, I,
And I
let me
don't
let me
know
let
if
me let me.
I don't know, and I
Well,
don't know Brad, and I'm gonna leave it. I can't say, maybe is he overrated? Is he just a marketing brand for the US team? And which is fine. Or
yeah,
is it
yeah.
just that? He just not that X factor guy. He's just a representative for USA as a marketing tool. Or
Yeah, you're correct. I think no, I think Pulisic. I'm not disappointed in his play against Belgium.
yeah.
He really didn't have a great tournament. Really, he had one or two games okay, but look, he was what he played against better competition.
Yes.
He's going to look like that against better competition because of who he is. He's not. I mean, he's
So
okay
basically,
player.
he's So you was just saying he just mediocre at best.
He wouldn't even make Belgium. He wouldn't even start for Belgium. He wouldn't even make the team.
Well, you got a good point. Yeah, you got a
Let's
good
be
point.
real. He wouldn't even
Yeah.
make the team for Belgium.
No,
And
yeah,
on a
I mean,
lot of
that's a
the
good
teams.
point.
And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he's not that guy. Why? Because of the skill sets. It's because of the speed. It's because of the physicality. It's a lot of things, man. And so it's
Right.
the toughness. It's all of it. And so he's one of those guys, that play USFL ball. You, I mean,
Yeah.
he played, but and he might have got a little run for a team, but he didn't start. He's that guy. And I'm not trashing him, but that's and I think he's probably kind of the last. He and the goal and some of the other guys are kind of the last of those types of players that you're going to see for Team USA moving forward. That's kind of my next question. And so my next question is: are you pessimistic or a little optimistic in terms of Team USA's future? Because I want to let a little time pass since the game that put a bad taste in people's mouth. Need a little time in between, but guys, are you are you optimistic or pessimistic in terms of the future of the team? And we're gonna take it somewhere else after we answer this.
Well, I can be optimistic with the coach. I do like the coach. I think he
Mm-hmm.
just, I don't think I think he's done the best that he can with
Talent he
the
has.
yeah, with the with the cards he was dealt. But
Mm-hmm.
as far as with the players, I think if he can hit the players he needs, I think the team can be who knows? I think they may have a chance to be a whole lot better than, this team. Um, so I'm optimistic on that end. I don't know, is he returning or not. I don't know what the deal is going to be with that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would like for him. I would like to see him the return, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. I don't know what the future holds in that regard. I do think the team is definitely gonna probably have a overhaul. I don't see Christian. I think this is his last
Yeah,
run.
this is last year. Yeah, this is last run.
Yeah,
I agree.
so he's
Great.
just,
So
yeah, he's
Yeah.
just, not only that, he's injured. I think he's injury prone. He can't be 100%. I think you can't
Mm-hmm.
count on him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, but
yeah.
that's what I think. I do think Belong. I think he's still going to be around. At least I hope.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think he's
Balogun is
going.
gonna be around.
Balogun, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think he's going
Yeah, he'll be
anywhere.
around. Yeah, he'll be around. He's a good player. Tillman's a decent player.
Yeah.
But and a couple of others that are there. But I think definitely on that back line, man. A lot of those guys, the goalie, Freeze,
Yeah.
Freeze is gone. Freeze is done.
Yeah. I don't see him
That
coming
goalie,
back. Yeah.
that goalie is horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think you got to get better. So so Lou, what do you think? You pessimistic or a little optimistic about Team USA?
No, I'm not pessimistic at all. I mean,
Hmm.
of course, judging the way that how we got there. I mean, I didn't think we are going to be in passes, but I think they're just looking up for the 2030 season. But of course, I think Christian Pulisic has seen his day.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think it's going to be his last go around. I pretty much now, even though it's not the American side, but also another one, of course, I think is done with as far as World Cup playing. It's going to be Ronaldo because he's now over the hill, and it's going to be a big loss for Portugal. But
Yeah,
I do
yeah.
see things with the U.S. looking up, in the near future. Whoever's left on the roster from this team, and the coach did, I think, a very fine job. Just went up against too much strong competition later, so I do see things looking up for I hate to say it, 2030. Ugh, I'll be 60 years old by then. Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
That's the scary part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I, yeah, yeah. So I agree. I think Neymar is gone too for Brazil. Neymar is
Oh
out,
yeah,
Yeah.
Neymar.
Yeah. Yeah. He's gone. Yeah.
I think that Brazil is only going to be better with Neymar out the way. I'm not a hater.
Yeah, what
I
happened
like
to Brazil anyway?
Neymar happened. I'm
I mean,
sorry.
Brazil used to be a
I
great
didn't mean
team.
that.
What happened to them?
Yeah, man. I mean, they were. I mean, their weakness was undisciplined defense at times,
Got to have
and they
defense.
and they didn't show the knack for having a disciplined defense back there against a team that really had it cooking. And so, and Neymar wasn't gonna help you. You just need strength in that back line, man. That's the backbone of the game.
Yeah.
You can have all the scoring you want, which is great. But you gotta have a defense that will hold up against people that score as good as you do it. And
Exactly.
Brazil,
So you don't need defense. Too
that's what
bad.
happened to them. Yeah, yeah. So I agree with you guys, man. I'm optimistic in terms of starting with the coach. I hope that coach comes back, man. Uh, and I think he's great. I think he's a world championship. He's a world championship coach. He doesn't have a world championship caliber players yet. Whether we get that, I'm more pessimistic about that, guys. I think we'll get better players in the back line and in other areas, but I think that the U.S. Men's national team has a ceiling, unfortunately. Okay, and it's there for a reason. And you're not getting the best players. You're not developing the best players. And you got to have the type of players. I mean, the USA is number 15 tops. You look at the top 16 tournament, 15, 14, 15 tops. You look at everybody. The only team that's below them is probably the team that beat Bosnia, maybe Canada. Then the USA and everybody else ahead of them.
Or maybe in
Yeah.
And so,
Japan.
right. I mean, Japan, but yeah, right. They've been, and so with that, I think that the system that we have um, I think it needs to be. You got to do something differently, and so you got to find a way to get better players, or just say, hey, this is who we are as soccer team. As a soccer team, we're just gonna keep doing what we're doing, and we have a ceiling, and so what we want to do is our thing is to number one qualify for the tournament. Number one, that's what they did. Number two, when we get in group stage, we want to win all our games to get out the group stage. So they won two games out of the group stage and lost one. But that was crazy. You don't
Yeah.
want to do that. So I think the goal is to get the group stage, all depending on who you have there, win it and win all your games in group stage. So I think those are some goals right there and get to the knockout rounds. Once you get to the knockout rounds, let's win a game.
Yeah,
That's
do or
what they
die.
did. That's what they
Um,
did.
Yeah.
And so once you win a game, all bets are off. All bets for the U.S. are off. You've done your thing,
Yeah.
and now you just try to find out, how much have you grown. That next game in the knockout round is a litmus test to say, okay, where are we? Truly, where are we against the world's best? And now and so now you got to go back to the drawing board, and maybe that's what you do. It's a litmus test, and you just rinse and repeat. You're just doing the same thing over and over. That's what we've been doing, same thing over and over again. And so what I'm getting to, guys, is if we truly want to improve, what do we need to do? If we really want to improve it, soccer is the only thing we don't do well. And the bad thing about it, that's the biggest sport that the world respects and recognizes. So what does the U.S. have to do to get better, Hover? If they want to be say, okay, we're serious about soccer and we want to be better. We need elite players. We need to do better. How do you do that? We say we're gonna rehaul the team. Okay, that's cool, but and this is the thing,
Yeah.
guys. I see 5 different tiers. The bottom tier are the guys who did not qualify, non-competitive teams. They didn't even qualify for the tournament. Fairly competitive are the guys who actually did qualify, but they didn't make it to the knockouts. Competitive is everybody you saw in them knockout rounds was competitive. World class 5 through 10, elite 1 through 4. That's kind
Yeah.
of how I see it.
Yeah.
So, so for me, based on how I set up the tiers, Team USA is tier 3 for me,
Yeah.
and a lot of teams are tier 3. There are a lot of teams are tier 3. It's not a whole lot of difference between 16 and 40. So, so, so for me, Where do you guys put Team USA, Hover? You are they competitive, or are they fairly competitive, or what? What are they, world class, or where are they in your opinion?
Well, I mean, they're competitive. Um, I think they're definitely not world class, but I think once
Hmm.
we can get starts with the coach. Um, if they can, still, if we can retain the coach we have, I think that's a good starting point, like I mentioned earlier.
Hmm. Yep. Yep.
Um, and then and then let's get the players he wants to coach.
But how do you do that on Team USA? Because you look at France, for instance. I think that's a good example. And so France been getting their ass kicked for years. you know, before they started getting good, even before Mbappe, even before they started getting winning championships, they were horrible. They were worse than you, just as bad as the USA, if not worse. But they got better because they changed the system in terms of how they brought people in. They brought kids in. They have a training facilities, got a league. They put them in these camps and they train them for years from kids, and they bring them from all over the world. A lot of them come from continent of Africa, all over Africa.
Yeah,
Bring them in there.
yeah,
Come from other places. Bring them in there, and then they have the stipulations of, yeah, my parents are this. You look at Mbappe. You know, you know, uh, it's not Senegal, but right, right on the tip of my tongue. What's the other African nation over there?
what you
Hova.
mean,
Congo?
Congo,
Said it. Not Congo.
Congo?
He's from
South Africa?
it. No, 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 not
Cape
South
Verde?
Africa. Say it again.
Cape Verde?
No, not Cape Verde. He's from. I'm going to tell you where he's from, man. He's from at least where his parents are from. I'm gonna tell you where it's from. Cameroon.
Oh, okay,
Oh, yeah.
Cameroon. Yeah,
Cameroon. I want to say that because my ancestors are 10% Cameroon. So,
yeah.
so, so those sort of things. Your parents may be one thing, but you can gain citizenship from France going through a system, whatever that is. A lot of players do that. Players all over the world have been doing that. Germany, everybody. That's the thing. USA is just not catching on to that. And so I'm thinking one option for the US um, is that they can use the blueprint. You ain't got to recreate the wheel. You can get the blueprint from France and make it better. Use that, apply, and USA they do have academies and that kind of thing. But look, man, you can't. And a lot of people say this, man, but soccer is expensive, and you got to pay to play.
All
And
sports are
on,
expensive.
yeah, all of it expensive. But the thing about football is the most costly of all. But you can be from the
I'll
ghetto.
give you that.
You can be from the country, and you can be the most rural areas and play football. As expensive as it is, travel and everything. And so basketball is very similar. Hell, you can say baseball. Baseball is expensive, but it's not as expensive as football. But baseball is expensive. But shoot, you can be from Timbuktu Country Road and play baseball. So that's the thing about soccer has made themselves an elite sport from being very young. So there's some community leagues and stuff, but once you get older, it's expensive. You got to pay not just for the equipment, but you got to pay the travel, you got to pay the coaches, you got to pay the staff, you got to pay the da 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 da. It's a lot of
Mhm.
stuff, and if you don't have sponsorships, you're not going to have very many soccer teams. And we actually have some soccer teams in the state of Georgia, high
Yeah,
school. We
yeah,
got a lot of them. You know, you know, but but you look at you look at where they are, the active ones, Johns Creek.
yeah, yeah. You look
you
at
know,
where they're
some
located. Yeah,
some private school somewhere. People that they're in the neighborhood where people got money. Okay, for the most part, that's soccer in America. And so, but that's not soccer.
Well, don't forget, soccer was never one of our strong spots. We've always been looked at as the ugly stepchild of the other sports.
Well, and that's what I'm getting into, and I'm glad you brought that up, Lou, because it's like, well, even though it's not, and we got off. I mean, football is our thing. Football is our number
I mean,
one.
all right,
Basketball.
let me look at it another way. Okay,
Hmm.
now I'm thinking in terms of the sports reports. Now they always discuss MLB, NFL, NHL, NBA, even WNBA. I mean, that would take Mexican cockfighting, but you rarely ever hear about MLS. I mean, to them, MLS is nothing. They don't even
It's
mention it.
not. It's because it's not. Because it has many leagues. Think of the MLS like USFL or college compared to Premier League, which is the best of the best. France's league, La Liga,
I mean, this league has been
African,
around for 30 years. I don't even know how it's surviving.
African, right? African leagues, and so you got all of these. You got about
Bundesliga.
four leagues. You got about four leagues on top of MLS, which got some of the top players and elite players in the
Yeah,
world. And okay, MLS finally got Messi, but Messi on other side of his career is still effective. But you
fair
need
enough.
MLS need a Messi on each team. They need a Messi and Mbappe. They need a
Okay,
Holland.
how many
They
you
need a
how
need a,
many you remember back in the 70s, the NASL league?
barely. I do barely.
barely. Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
Your Cosmos, and that was the king of
Yep.
New York sports.
Hmm.
Even though it's running the Yankees, the Mets, and everybody else. I mean, Pele was there. That league was on a roll, but
Yep.
unfortunately, it couldn't hold up because after that, it just died out. And the
Yep.
league went busted in '85.
Hmm. Yep. And
But
let
for
me
a
go
brief
back to
time
what.
in the '70s, soccer was king.
Yeah. Let me go back to what you said before, Lou. And you were
Yes,
like, and you said the top teams, the top sports teams or interest in the U.S. I looked this up. It is on some kind of fan site, something fan, something, 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 something. Popular sports. I just say popular.
watch those. Watch those.
And obviously football is number one, NFL, and this is in the U.S. Basketball, NBA is number two. Guys, guess what number three is?
Dodgeball.
No, number three close. Number three, number three is soccer, not MLS, but all leagues, Premier League, La Liga, everything. Everybody's tuning in to soccer
Yeah,
because of the diversity in America, and so that's number three. Number four is baseball. Number five is hockey. And so,
yeah.
but that's not pay scale. You know, you go to pay scale, soccer's not even top five. But
No, of course.
in here, but you look at the top five down south, and Lou, you can tell me it's probably different in New York, but down south, our top five sports in terms of popularity is college football because everybody don't have a pro football team, high school football team, everybody got one of those. Everybody's big town shut down for high school games on Friday. Friday night lights is a southern thing.
Likes.
Eh,
Likes.
right, right. Number three, NFL. Number four, basketball. Number five, baseball. And honorable mention goes to wrestling, boxing, golf, and track and field. So those are not team sports, but those are interesting things here. So I pull those out because that's very important in terms of where we stand and the interest level of really just trying to get young people interested in playing. Even if you got scholarships, you know, you still got to get the interest of the young people and then the parents to support that. Because you got a lot of parents that are like, man, shoot, look at how fast you run. Man, you know, and you could be a great soccer. Kids should be able to play everything, Luke. And I think the kids should be able to, when they're coming up, they should have the experience of not just football, but baseball and soccer and basketball too. So you might excel in one and the other because if you're forcing the football thing because of everybody else around you, you may not be a starter in football, but you may be a great soccer player. That's the problem. That's
Yeah.
the problem in my opinion. And we, you know, because of the popularity and the support and the resources and the interest level, all the kids don't have a they don't have a choice. I mean, all your best athletes when they don't have a choice, you're not getting them because they're not looking outside. Not that they can't play it, they just haven't been exposed to it. And so what you get are the athletes that are left over and who can afford the game. That's who's playing the game and keeping it going when they get older. That's why you
Right.
get the you know the London Donovans and the Pulisic's and everybody else that we've had for over years. They're the athletes that were left over that stuck with the sport, and that's the best we got. You know, and so you look at just for instance, guys, and I'm gonna take it there because everybody else has been taking it there. Look at somebody like Tyreek Hill. Good out. I mean, in his heyday, Tyreek Hill in
Yeah.
his heyday, the human joystick. Damn good player, right? One of the most athletic players I've ever seen in my life. I mean, my God. And that's just an example, one of many. And so, not to say that he'll be a great soccer player, but I'm just saying, think of Tyreek Hill when he was 10 years old with that ability. And what if he liked soccer? And what if he excelled at soccer? How big is Tyreek Hill, guys? He's like what? Is he six
Yeah.
feet?
I don't think he's 6 feet.
He's
I
like
think
5'9" or something.
5'9", 5'10", maybe.
Yeah,
Very
five
short for
nine.
basketball.
Yeah, it's five. Well, let me. This is what I'm getting at, Lou. I'm glad you said it. Lou been on point all night, y'all. So what we get at is the body types and the athlete types for soccer. And you look at Tyree Hill, it's the perfect size for soccer. You just put him in the best position on the field. Average height for a soccer player is 5'10" to 6 feet, guys. Average
Yeah.
player. You might get a goalie that's like 6'3", 6'2". Goalies are usually 6'3". Goalkeepers are 6'3". Your defenders, that back line, 6 foot, maybe 6'2", somewhere along there, so they can
Yeah.
get them headers and all that kind of stuff, block the shot. Midfielders, 5'10", 6 feet. You know, maybe a little shorter. Forwards and the wings, 5'8", 5'9" to 5'11". All right. Messi is 5'7". All right. Most of you guys are 5'7". Neymar probably, I think, the same height, if not shorter. All right, you player now. I think Mbappe got a little height on him. Holland, uh, uh,
But he's the
Holland,
only one. He's like 6'6",
he's 6'5". Holland is 6'5". Plus, I like that little row thing they do, man. Goop, goop. I love it, man. I love it, man. I'm all into it. I'm sold. I'm sold. So so at any rate, that's what I'm getting at.
So
That's what I'm getting. So when we talk about football players, basketball players, yeah, we got the athletes. I mean, I think we got the athletes that could change the game in the world, and the world don't want to see that. But we have enough athletes and enough people, if we wanted to, could change the whole game. So our goal is be 6'5" in our league, 6'5", and that can move like Wimby. Wingspan is everywhere. You try to get through that, he just nudge. He ain't got to dive. He just nudging and doing stuff like this. That's kind of athletes that we have over 6'8", 6'7". Go. Can you imagine having a 6'7", 6'8" goalie that can move and do stuff like that with a big wingspan? See, that's what I'm getting at, guys. Changing the game. Guys that are big, fast, and physical. We got that. And you talking about the wing? Hell, we can have a league full of Mbappe's. Are you kidding me? Why can't we? Because we're not built right. From the ground up, we're not built right. And we don't have the kid, like I say, we're not putting the resources in our public school system, in our communities. Anywhere you can go, you go to an apartment complex somewhere or anywhere, you can find a basketball goal. You can find a field where you can play some football. Somebody get a ball and just throw it around, and we can make a game. But in Brazil it's different. You got a soccer field everywhere. You got a soccer field, whether it be in the city, you play street soccer, put it in the street. You can
or
put it in the gym,
or
you can play in the
or
gym,
even in the hood.
in the hood. You know what I'm saying? In the streets, in the hood. You
But
play it anywhere.
yeah, but that's the thing. You're absolutely right. It's a culture thing. I mean, here in the United States, the emphasis is American football. You know,
Right?
high school, everything. Friday night lights in high school.
Friday night lights.
It's not Friday night light soccer, right? So
Mm-mm.
no,
At all. Not even
so
close.
I,
so that's so and then that's where the bang for the buck is at. So
Right.
that's the reason. But you're right. If the shift changed to where we can have Friday night like soccer and football,
Hmm.
it would be a different, because that point that the sport is being highlighted more so. But it's not being high, even like it's just, especially at the high school level. That's not happening. I mean, where I live, Buford, $62 million football
wow.
stadium
Yeah.
for
Football.
high school
That's the
students.
resource. That's the
But
resource.
see, so to your point,
Which, if you got a soccer team, hey, soccer team use football field. That's not
true,
big. You just realign it. That's
that's
all you
true,
gotta do.
that's true. But
Yeah.
that's true, and it's not that Buford doesn't have the athletes to play soccer, but what are they doing? They're
See,
going to
but
American football. They're not going to soccer.
that's the part. I hope that see
Where's the
that's
bang
what
for the
I'm getting
buck?
to.
But that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm getting to.
The bang for my buck is playing that football, American football.
See, and that's
You,
that's 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 the thing. That's the thing, and so that's why I say you got to have a strategy to where I can get them kids. I want kids that got a choice. I want athletes that got a choice. And I'm just saying that. Look, I'm just giving. Look, he can play soccer. He playing soccer for me, and he playing football for me. And he might be equal in both, or he might be better in soccer, but not as good as in football. And,
but
and only one,
typically, but
only one,
typically
only one.
that
Mm,
athlete is going to play American football and probably either baseball or basketball. That's
and
typically,
see,
or hell,
but,
all
but
three. But
right. Well, see, exactly. And you hit the nail on it, but that's the problem. That's the problem. And so the kids playing all three of those. How do I get these kids to put soccer in there? How do I? I don't know how, but that's a challenge.
let me ask you this, Brad. It's real simple.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We have the NIL, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If a high school athlete plays soccer, his NIL money is not gonna compare to what it can be in American football, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so it's let's just start there. That's a shift in itself. So if I'm an athlete and I got the skills to play soccer, but I got the skills to play wide receiver,
Mm-hmm.
my NIL money is ten
That,
thousand in soccer, but if I go play wide receiver then if the high school, it's $1 million. Ten
but,
thousand a million. Come on, bro. I mean, so
but no, no, but every kid ain't gonna be that though. That's
no,
not
no,
gonna
no,
be
no,
every
no. I'm
kid.
saying
And so,
that's the
and so, and
best. I'm
so,
saying that's the best athlete.
right, and that's okay. But that's okay because I don't need the best athlete necessarily. The best football athlete. I need the,
But I'm
I
saying,
need
but
the
if we
best soccer
really,
athlete
but
because
I'm saying if
because
we
it.
really want to change, make that change,
But I'm,
you
but I'm
know,
saying, but what I'm saying is that I may not get him, and that's okay. I know I'm not gonna get that guy who plays football and soccer at a high level, but I think you're gonna get more guys who just okay at football, just okay at football.
well, that's
But
true.
but
I
but,
agree
but
with that.
they're very very talented soccer players. And so now let's talk about NIL money and concerns with that. Now he probably won't be offered a high scholarship at a school because he's okay, but he got people starting ahead of him. He might be third string. But if you go to soccer scholarships, he can make more money in soccer than he can in football because he's a better soccer player than a football player, even though
Yeah,
he may love football. And I can pay him more money in soccer.
no, I agree with that. I agree with your point. Your point.
And so that's all I'm saying is that we have to offer these strategies because I think that when you say we got the best athletes, a lot of times they're not Tyreek Hill. People who are just such great football players and okay soccer players. Fine, I don't want you playing soccer if you don't want to play soccer. But I want the guys, I think we're going to have a lot of guys that are great soccer players and just okay football players, just okay basketball players. D1, they playing D2 football, playing D2, D3 basketball, football. But man, they some hell of a soccer players.
Yeah,
Those are the guys that we need. Those guys exist, and we miss them all the time because guess what? They playing in D2 basketball, football. If they're playing D1, they're not starting. They go to They don't get drafted. They play in USFL and they're struggling trying to get on the team. When man, this guy got awesome soccer talent, but he just won't play. We can't get it. We were not able to get him and steer him towards playing soccer a long time, or to give him that option the way he got a love for both of these games, and he went with the better skill. That's the
Mm.
strategy. That is the strategy, guys. That is the challenge that we have. And so, in order to give them that opportunity, you have to make it available. If it's not available, then how is he going to choose?
I agree with that.
That's the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem with US and soccer. But if you don't take the time to do that and put the strategy and the thinking and all that stuff behind it, you're never going to get better. You're going to have a ceiling like we talked about earlier in the show. So I think that there's some solutions out there, but what we have right now ain't gonna get it, Ho. It,
No, no, it ain't.
No,
it
no,
ain't
no,
gonna
no.
get it. It ain't gonna get it, Lou. I'm sorry. Oh, so look, closing out, guys. Closing out real quick. Um, we have France versus Morocco tomorrow. Spain versus Belgium, England versus Norway, Argentina versus Switzerland. So, real quick pick'ems. Lou, who you got? France and Morocco. Who you got?
France.
Scott France. Who you got, Hover?
I'm gonna go with France in that one.
I have to go with France. They were my pick to win it all, but I think it's gonna be a tough one. Morocco is really good.
But
I think Morocco is really
Morocco
good.
is really good though. Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, Morocco is really good.
Yeah, they are.
So
Don't
yeah.
underestimate them.
So second game we got Spain versus Belgium. Hover, who you got?
You know what? I'm gonna go with Belgium, man. I think they play on a lot of confidence. I think they're gonna
Yeah,
give Spain all they can handle.
you're right. I agree. They'll give them all they can handle. Lou, who you got in that matchup? Spain, Belgium.
Well, I hate to go against the odds here, but I'm gonna go with Spain.
All right. I'm with you, Lou. I'm going. I think Belgium's gonna give them all they got, but I'm going with Spain in this one also. Plus that's in my bracket. My bracket's still alive, guys. My final. England versus Norway. Who you got in that one, Hover?
Yeah, the roof of the. Oh man, that's gonna be a good match. Harry Kane and Holland.
Yep, yep, yep.
You know, I gotta go with the roof. I don't know, man. That roof is just it's something mystical going on with that.
Love it, man.
Hey man, I'm going with the Norway, the big Holland dude.
Yeah, yeah. Who you got in that one, Lou? England or Norway?
You're a wizard, Harry. I'm gonna have to go with England.
Yeah, I picked England in my brackets early on, so I got to stick with England. But I would not be mad if Norway wins that game at all. That's all I want to do. I got to see it, man, one more time. Last game, guys. Argentina versus Switzerland. The surprise team in the tournament that got this far. Who you got in that one, Hober?
Argentina, they definitely been battle tested, but they find ways to win. And that means a lot, man. That goes pretty far in my book. So I'm going to go with Argentina. I think Switzerland. I'm just gonna be honest. I really wasn't even impressed with them against Colombia. I think they just they got the look of the draw. That's fine, but I got to go with Argentina on this one, man. I just don't think Switzerland has it to beat Argentina.
All right, no silver slipper for them in this game. Lou, who you got? Argentina, Switzerland.
Argentina's gonna make Swiss cheese out of them. Let's put it that way.
Well, there you go, Swiss cheese.
But however, now if they lose, don't cry for me, Argentina. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Look, guys, I think Argentina's not gonna, they're the defending champions. They're gonna lose eventually, but it ain't gonna be the Switzerland. So I'm going Argentina on this one, guys.
I agree.
Keep my brackets alive.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think Argentina has really been playing the best. It seemed like they really lean real heavily on Messi, and I just don't, and nobody else. At times. So I agree with you. I do think, I just don't think they're gonna, I don't see. I see them definitely losing somewhere along the way.
Yeah.
But I don't see them losing against Switzerland though.
Nah, I don't see that one either, guys. All right, good. We're running a little bit over, but look, guys, we don't talk soccer no more. We didn't talk that out today, so nobody can say that Brad and Hope show can't get it done with soccer, man. So I think we got it in today, fellas. Thanks a lot. Lou, take us on.
All right, Enhanced Sports Show resumed its Saturday schedule, Saturday 4 to 6 p.m. I did not do it Saturday. I did it Sunday this week for obvious reasons. This week we're going to continue with our World Cup coverage. We're also going to take care of part 2 of the free agent frenzy going on in the NBA and NHL. It's still going on. We'll update the rosters for the All-Star Game and the Home Run Derby as well. Also, tennis, anyone? We'll have the finals of the women's final and preview Sunday's men's final. Breakfast and tennis. Represent Wimbledon, of course.
Yes.
Any WNBA news that comes available as well. And if anybody has any wrestling or boxing knowledge, please bring it up because we still can use somebody to do a segment for that as well. Don't forget the number to call is 512-543-4662. Again, 512-543-4662. Don't forget to like and share the page. And don't forget we're on Facebook Live. Was it live though or was it Memorex? I can't remember. Okay. That was a joke from the last show, by
the way. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that, Luke.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
All right. Good night.
Good night. Thanks for joining the Brad and Hope Show. Till next week. Speak on it.
Speak on it.
Yeah. Okay.